Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Robocraft with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome back to Factory Fun, the series in which you tell me which robots to try from the community factory, and I will do my best to give my honest first impressions of the robot, and of course, rate it out of 5 in both style and combat. And in today's episode, we have the Knight Mark III, a pretty tanky mech. Good all-rounder. I've been doing pretty well with him in Team Deathmatch. Will serve you well. Well, let's see if it will serve us as well as promised. So, having a look at it straight away, originally, when I first looked at this robot, I actually wasn't too keen on it, and let's just quickly purchase it so we can actually have a look at it a little bit better, because that camera angle was absolutely terrible. But yeah, when I first bought it, I honestly didn't think it looked too good, but after looking at it a little bit more, using the camera angles to my advantage, I'm actually really happy with it. I think it looks really, really nice. I love the torso. I love how the bottom section here has been done. I was about to call it the abdomen then. I guess it almost works, calling that the abdomen. The only part I'm not too keen on is the arms, but in general, I'm not a massive fan of mechs with arms anyway. Sometimes they can look absolutely fantastic, but sometimes they can look a little bit frozen in place, because of course, it's an arm. You'd expect an arm to move in Robocraft. It doesn't move. It kind of breaks the illusion, but ignoring that bias, I think it actually looks really, really good. So I am fairly certain when it comes time to star this thing out of 5, it's going to get a very nice style score indeed. Forgot what the word for style was then. Anyway, with me forgetting every second word out of the way, let's get into a team deathmatch, which is now going to be the game mode I test out robots from the store in, unless you would rather me test your robot out in elimination. So if you are leaving a comment to ask for your robot in a future episode, please give me a preference for one of the two. Normally, I'm going to try and do one team deathmatch and one elimination, but sometimes, if the team deathmatch drags on for the full 10 minutes, we'll probably just stick with that, or if we have two very short team deathmatches, we'll stick with that instead, so we can get at least one full team deathmatch. That was a long explanation for a very simple change to the series. Let's get started. Well, here goes the first battle then. So number 2 is the plasma, number 1 is the lasers, and number 3 is indeed the rail. Okay, so if we can remember that, we should have a pretty good time. If we don't remember that, well, I'm going to end up in some very odd situations very, very quickly. And here's wishing I had a flak weapon or something. But I am very happy with the fact that I just have a rail. Oh yeah, all the plasma's on one arm, isn't it? That's actually a little bit concerning when it comes to aiming. Aiming up with that plasma is almost impossible. Yeah, one plasma is even on the bottom, so even if I'm facing directly at him, I'm going to lose 1/4 of shots. Not going to be worth it. Okay, so the laser and the rail only for anti-air. I think that's the way I'm going to be sticking with that. I was spotted, and only 2 enemies can see me, so it was either him or him. In other words, one was about to try and shoot me. Oh, really? I hit a shield on a down flyer? There we go, hitting his weapon. Much smarter. See? I can do thinking. Sometimes. I generally think that I think better when I'm thinking drunk. But that's what my own brain tells me, and I wouldn't trust that. Why are you running? Because of him. Okay. I'll hit the gun, didn't take it out sadly. Get another shot. Ooh! That was bad weapons against us. It's so weird having all one weapon on one arm. It's... Getting used to that is going to be difficult. There we go, and there goes all of his movement capability. What? How are you flying? I'm guessing he has hovers and just kind of caught the side there. Yeah, I'm assuming that's what has happened. Okay, shooting directly forward with the plasma is actually very, very easy. That makes me very happy. Oh, come on, just die! Stop getting hits on me! I feel really bad now. Like, he was basically a downed flyer, and he was still getting shot after shot off on me. So how long I was taking, so I should take him out. Take that, cliff behind enemy, which I aimed at. That's so weird seeing all the plasma come from the left-hand side of the screen. I'll hit you a couple of times with my beautiful lasers. Don't you fear me now. Hello! Got a lot of shots on him, swapping to the laser now since we're out of energy. Kind of wish we were using one of the smaller lasers in a higher number than one we're currently using. Stop going for my arms! It's very rude. At least aim for my face instead. Uh-oh. Well, we're about to die. Oh, here's a flak! Where am I jumping? I have no idea how that flak didn't go off. I don't know why he wasn't walking after me either, because now I can just wait and hopefully his healing will stop. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we can actually do some fighting. Good, he's not actually healing. Why am I jumping? He has flak. Thankfully, his attention was diverted elsewhere. If he walked after me, he would have probably got the kill there. That is a very thin robot. Jumping saved me a lot of damage there. So far, pretty happy with this robot. Really unique in how the weapons are set up. I haven't actually seen something like that in ever, actually. I think he's going to hit me as I walk past. Anyone else think that? I was wrong. I have never been so happy to be wrong. Boop. No! My boop! Oh, he fled from the boop. By falling gloriously from the sky. I'm guessing one of you are a medic. Yeah, hopefully you can stick next to each other so I can hurt both of you at once. That would be really nice. Stop shooting me! That's not fair, you're healing. Oh, I'm so dead. I am so dead right now. Come on, if we can just get around this corner, I am less than dead. Which generally is how I like to be. Oh yeah, well done, Mr. Mech. Oh, that's unfortunate. The enemy have had 0 kills so far. Now I'm really glad I didn't actually get killed, because that means I'd be the only death on the team. Oh, wow, everything was connected to your flak then, huh? The left arm is plasma. Can you say left? Loading, loading. Boop. Loading, load. Oh! Come on, I was glaring at him angrily the whole time. Ow, 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 ow. Could have jumped then, don't know why I didn't. Let's go with the flak. I was going to make the excuse, oh, but the flak guy would get me, but there he goes, scooting across the floor without his flak. Excuse wouldn't have really held up too well, would it? Got a couple of shots on the missile launcher Rayleigh Walkery guy. That is a really good catchy name. Yeah, plasma placement isn't... Oh, close. Okay, I'm happy. To be fair, how are you so far ahead on score, my lad? Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, but well, duh, he's got way more kills and assists combined than you. You know, doing math sometimes can be very effective at actually figuring things out before you ask the stupid question. Wait, gold? I got second. Shouldn't I have got diamond? Right? I'm not wrong there, am I? I know it changed recently, but that seems weird to exclude a whole type of crate, because where else would diamond go? Unless you can only get diamond in Battle Arena, which I doubt for some reason. There we go, my mouse wasn't on there then. So, in terms of style, I'm actually going to give it a 5. Now, some of you may be wondering why exactly a whole 5 rather than just a 4, because I would give this something like a 4.6 or a 4.7, but that's because of the arms. If the arms are a little bit further back, or just connected a bit more, I would give it a 5, and I personally don't like arms, but I know that the consensus of most people is that arms are really good. But that's the thing though, do I want to go with my subjective opinion, or an opinion which I think would be a little bit more objective? Well, subjective but agreed with more people. No, I should be subjective, because it's my opinion. It's my opinion on style, and style is the most subjective thing in the darn universe. So I would say it's a 4.5 or a 4.6, which you don't round up, because it hasn't yet earned that star. For instance, a 3.5, I would never give a 4, because it hasn't gone past the 4-star rating yet. This is like a 4.6, 4.5 in that region, because it does look really good. I just personally don't like the arms too much. Combat, a 4 as well, and I'll tell you for why. I don't like the plasma placement. I know, I see what he's going with, I like the concept. I just find that unless you're targeting directly at the enemy and it's in a flat line against you, 1 or 2 plasma is going to mess up. And considering a mech can be wobbly at best and outright weird at worst when you're trying to turn it around, I don't feel that's too good. I do feel that perhaps the strafing controls, which are on regular settings, yeah, I feel like maybe perhaps regular strafe might be better for this than my normal standard settings, but Yeah, other than that, I am happy with the robot. The rails are in a good place. It is definitely quite tanky. The lasers are surprisingly well placed, even though they have the same issue. Because they're lasers, you can miss a couple of shots with less repercussion. Although I do think that perhaps the smaller laser might do better, considering we already have the plasma for when enemies are quite close and such. So, little nitpicky things how I would set up the actual weapons, but there we are. Let's do an elimination and see how we do there as well then.
The battle for Tharsis Rift has begun.
And so begins the elimination. Now, how do we actually want to play this? I feel like this is the type of robot that can fulfill multiple roles. It's not necessarily a long-range robot, and it's not really a close-range brawler, but it can do both of them somewhat well, at least from the mild experience I've had from the steamrolling Team Deathmatch we just finished. So, not sure how to do this one. I think just stick with the team, try and be safe as much as possible, and where I can, fire plasma at people's face. And miss spectacularly, because you have no idea where they actually are, because you didn't spot them, you dingus. The dingus, of course, being me. There we are, actually hit a target. Fantastic. Wow, that section there just wanted to be shot. It was just so obviously a weak point. Thank you, people who build robots and make their weak points exceedingly obvious. Still not too keen on the placement of the plasma though, that is my major concern still. That and the fact I'm not sure if these arms would actually be able to withstand a rail shot. Could you shoot me in the arm instead, mate? So we can do some science here. Well, took off his rail. I have plasma too, my friend! There we are. Back off for a second while we're completely out of power. He's going to try and come back. No, he's not. I thought he was. Darn, I was hoping that would have took off one of his legs. And there goes my arm. I guess that is the problem with using arms like this as well. It does make a weak point. A weak point for the sake of style. Feast, face the wrath of my lasers! Oh, actually took off his plasma just before he shot me with it. Oh, being shot somewhere else as well. There he is. Hello, secondary person. Need to just face them more as well, so all my guns fire. I mean, we did tank the damage pretty darn well. So the arms are definitely the weak point. Thankfully, like I was saying before, this is definitely a 4 in combat. I would never say this is a 5. I feel like the arms are something I don't like the look of, and are possibly a big weakness of the robot. But other than that, still very, very fun to use. Very simple to use, and I think it might have a hover on the inside. Yeah, it definitely has a hover. You can see by when you jump, you can move up, forwards and backwards, so... Final concern addressed? Okay, I pretty much have my opinion sorted then. And it even gave me level 109. How lovely. 6 assists there, thankfully. We were attacking pretty much everyone a little bit. And so, we should get the Protonium crate. Oh, a tank track rhino. A tank tack. Like a thumbtack. Just a rhino thumbtack. That was so slow. I hate leveling up on the higher levels. It's so anticlimactic. It's like, wow, you leveled up. Here's a tiny little bit of CPU you can use. Yay! So then, final thoughts on the night. If the arms were better secured, admittedly that would heavily affect the looks of the vehicle, but if they were better secured and didn't die quite so easily, I think this would be a lot better. The plasma and even the laser placement is a little bit off. I will change my mind a bit about the lasers. I found that too many were clipping, especially since we are using, I believe we are using the vaporizer. Yes, indeed we are. So it's not quite the maximum, it's not quite the disintegrator, it's not using that much energy per shot, and also the cooldown isn't quite as intense. But even so, I do feel like the use of them is a little bit odd here. It's just not in the place I would like to have them, and that was so weirdly said as well, because I was trying to think about nominal counts and such, and my mind wandered while leaving my mouth to try and talk. But overall, I do like the bot. It's definitely taken a few liberties for the looks of the bot, but I think it looks really nice. It looks a bit stubby, but highly defensive. The shields are in a nice place, and overall, I had a very fun time using it, and it's a robot that will stay in my bays, especially since, hopefully somewhat soon, we can build all the way to 100 robots. That is a change that is coming, hopefully, in the next few months. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourite, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Robocraft is a series you wish to see continued in the future. And if you would like to see your robot on a future episode of Factory Fun, then please leave your username, the robot's name, the CPU of the robot, what weapon type it is, and what movement type it is, and any other information you may think is pertinent. I would also appreciate a preference towards team deathmatches and elimination, just to make sure I do the one which the robot is better suited for. I do know that some robot types really don't do very well at all in team deathmatch, but do fantastically in elimination, and the opposite is certainly true, so please tell me if it does much better in one rather than the other, or perhaps if it's just good in both. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.